I bought the ARB awning, the 2.5 metre one, and I've just received it, so let's head out and take a look at what's included in the packaging. Then I'll take you through fitting it, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it once I've got it fitted to the car, and we'll do some testing. And what I didn't realise, and I probably should have guessed, but the ARB awnings are actually made in China like everything else, and then they're sent to Australia, and then they're sent here to the UK. Well, this is the ARB awning, the 2.5 metre by 2.5 metre. The new one, which comes with the light built into it. When it arrives, it's in this really long box. Let's get a little measurement on there if we can. Box itself comes in at just over 2.5 metres. I also bought a couple of brackets because it's a pretty heavy old beast, so I got the gusseted brackets. What do these help? Yeah, 50mm gusseted brackets, so those will help as well. That's the actual ARB ones. Let's open it up and see what's inside. The packaging itself is this really thick plastic, and it's been heat moulded on, so you can see it's like melted into place, and that gives the corners actually like, that's like a hard plastic corner, just based on the sheeting that's melted into a shape. So that's quite useful. Right, inside the box, it's then wrapped up in another layer of bubble wrap. There's a little, feels like a little miniature toolkit, maybe an Allen key in there, and some basic instructions, owner's manual it says, and then it's got this nice logo on one end, just so that people know this is a good one to steal off the top of your van. The only thing is, make sure that when you're using a knife to unwrap it, you don't cut the bag there. That would make everyone sad. And it comes with a bag of pegs of some sort. Also, now I've weighed it using my luggage scales here, and it was surprisingly 13.8 kilograms. It feels heavier than that. I wouldn't want to pick it up with one hand, but it's 13.8 kilograms it says. Well, I was about to go and show you a test fitting, but then it's started snowing because Scotland. But anyway, I've checked the length. I'm going to use what's called T-track bolts on my Thule roof rack. 3 of them down the centre, 3 of them down the centre of this one. So that's the T-track bolt. It is M6 but with fine thread, and they slide into an aluminium groove on the Thule roof bars. So I'll just washer them up, tighten them down. Little groove there, and this little square section goes into the track, and then I'll just push that along, and I'll have 3 of those. So the awning will hang over the back a little bit, and it comes up basically to the front of the roof line, about here. But it's very manageable, and I think I won't regret getting the exercise.
The next day.
Well, a lot of that snow has melted now, so I can give you an idea what this will look like on the roof rack. So I'm just going to close the boot here. It is icy, so I don't want this to slide. But my plan is to have it hanging off the back there, so that I can reduce the amount of hang that's coming off the front. Now the manual says it can only have 26 inches of unsupported length, or 28 inches of unsupported length, something like that. So that is about that. But I'm probably going to support it off the rack here. I'm just trying to decide whether or not to buy a third one of these Thule rails. But that'll be another 200 quid. So I'm going to mount it with 2 brackets, and then see if I can get a third bracket to attach on the end here, because this is still solid steel. But that's the plan. But it doesn't look massive. I'm pleased. And this is the track on the back of the ARB kit. Comes with these little square M6s. No washers, so well, at least no washers included in the kit. So I'm going to add some. Help spread the load a little bit. So I've just lost my last bolt. There it is. Get 6 of those in there, so I will just run that along to one end, and then I'll get them up onto my rack. I don't know which way is up. Right, that's the front, that end. So I'll rest it on top of the end of my Thule racks. Fortunately, I can just set it on the ends of the bars, and I'll mount up the front point first. Let's see how that goes. I'm not gonna lie, doing this single-handedly is a real pain, but I've managed to get one of the bolts secured with a few threads. I'll bring this one down next and do that, but yeah, this would be better if you had someone to help you with it. Right, so here we have a couple of the backs in place. It's a bit fiddly, but that should give me 2 bolts front, and I'll just go and do another bolt at the back there. That should be enough to keep it steady. I'm gonna just check the distance for opening my tailgate, make sure I'm happy with the rearward positioning of it. That's fine. And front, I'm underneath that 24 inches or whatever it was of unsupported length, and I have clearance for all my doors as well, which is what you need. Yeah, it matches the colour of the car, mostly. Now, with these being nylocks, it's hard to get them much more than finger tight on there, but the advantage is if they're hand tight, you can do a bit of forward and back adjustment by just wiggling it, and you can line up exactly where you want it to be. I think for me, I'm going to want it further back on the car because of this unsupported front here. I think I will get a third leg, because if this starts to move around a lot in the wind, just a little extra support might help. Nice. It's going to be plenty tall, that's for sure. This kit really should have come with washers, but I can't complain too much. I'll probably have to just cut these down with my angle grinder as well, because I've got some roof boxes that go on the top here, and these might foul the ends of the boxes. But overall, that wasn't too tricky. What I have observed is that the awning, when it's out, there will still be a gap here, so if it's really bucketing down with rain, I'll get rain coming in and down the side of the car here, so maybe I'll want to have something that flaps over the top just to help snug that up a little bit. The other thing that I've realised is that my roof rack is currently squint because it's wider at the front than it is at the back, so I'll get that moved in the way before I finish up here. So that wasn't too hard to do. It's a bit tricky with one person because you've got to hoist the whole weight of the thing on your own. I was looking at buying the Thule Omnistore, which was £1,000 plus, and then I would still have to buy all the bracketry and so on. So I've probably got that thing fitted on my roof for about 500 quid.
1 week later.
There it is, fitted, ready to go. Let me unpack this thing and let you know what I think. Nearly took my thumb off there. So we've got some basic Velcro straps there. 3 of those, so I'll take the 2 ends off first. And then I'm going to need both hands, so I'll put the camera down, I'll pop this thing up, and I'll let you know what I think. That was pretty straightforward. I've never done that before. I just saw a man on the internet do it a few times, but it's pretty straightforward. The legs just twist. You twist the shaft, and that adjusts the height. Lock it again. So there's 2 of those. Frame's all aluminium. Little plastic connectors. Hopefully they won't wear, but I know that ARB sells spares. I've got more Velcro tabs so that I can attach them onto the runners. I'm definitely going to get a leak down the back here, but I can't really mount this further inboard, so I'll just have to face the fact that I'm about to get wet if it really rains. Height wise, that's great, because I have head clearance here to walk at full height underneath it, and I reckon we could park a car under there, so if we're at a track day fixing something, we'll get a car in there. There's not a lot of space. That doesn't even look 2.5 metres. I've had my measuring tape out. It's definitely 2.5 metres square. We'll get a car under there, but not a car and working, so we'd have to maybe park it halfway in or something and put the leg on top of the roof. So there'll be just enough space to work on a car in the rain. But the main thing is that it's dry for spectating, or just putting out some chairs, and if we're camping, it'll be great. There's the roof. And it does have a light which just runs on a cigarette plug. I don't know how useful that will be, but that's alright. Looks a bit sad with it all lopsided there, but that's my fault. I have to figure out how to put it away. I know I don't have a glamorous assistant and you've had to look at my bald head the entire time, but that wasn't particularly challenging, and I've just seen that the legs can fold in at full extension, so I can just leave them locked out now. That'll make life a little easier. But that's impressive. Not too difficult to put up or fold down. The materials seem to be good quality, and I guess that's what you're paying for when you buy the ARB, because I don't really care about the brand. Next time I test that will be either at a track day or while camping. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll tell you if I know the answer. This is not sponsored, it's just a thing that I needed, and so I bought it. And I thought I would add some information to the internet. So take care everyone, make good decisions. See you in another video. Bye bye.